The following video is for criticism only. No drama will come of this video. What are you talking about, Ida? I was in the middle of trying to record a video. If you're not going to be paying the rent, then I'm going to have to remind you of the consequences you have to pay. Consequences? May I remind you that you have a wanted poster hanging up? Well, fine then. We will forget this whole little charade ever happened. On one condition. Oh boy, what is the condition? You're going to have to talk about IGN once more. IGN? Come on, Ida! I already talked about IGN. Why do I have to talk about it again? Your old video kind of didn't really explain anything of why you really hated IGN. And you came off as a whiny Kingdom Hearts fan. Oh, be quiet. I wasn't a whiny Kingdom Hearts fan. I had my points and I had my points hard. Alright, fine. If it will make us forget this whole little charade, I will do it. Perfect. I will love to get the popcorn. King, get the popcorn! Yes, Miss Ida! Alrighty, now we're back with IGN. Yay. IGN is one of those companies that you just cannot handle at all. The YouTube channel is well over the thousands and there's still the news mediocrity. They're late for the news, and whenever they try to review something, they just put their own opinion on it. Now, not their as in IGN's, their as in the people that are talking about it. Hence, this video right here, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC. This came out last year when the DLC was fresh, and it did in fact add content that expanded upon the Kingdom Hearts lore and characters and story overall. It came with Remind, the Limit Cut episode, and the Secret episode, which features one of my favorite characters, Yazoa. And let me just remind you guys, that this DLC pack does have spoilers from Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'm warning you guys right now. If you guys don't really care that much for the Kingdom Hearts story, then you guys are feel free to watch this, but you know, IGN didn't even care enough about the story. Oh, help me.
Kingdom Hearts 3's Remind DLC is oddly jumbled. It's a pack of weirdly separated content that is simultaneously far less interesting than it could have been story-wise, and frustrating at times in both difficulty and content reuse combat-wise.
This is why I kind of hate IGN. They keep thinking with their guts and not with their heads. First off, Kingdom Hearts 3 was relatively easy even on Proud mode, which is considered the more harder challenge of the game without trying to whip off your toenails. Kingdom Hearts 3's critical mode, however, is pretty hard, but that was a free update, and a lot of people wanted more on the story, a lot more on the characters, and so the creators decided to go and make a story DLC that can kind of make every type of Kingdom Hearts fan happy. The ones that wanted the more exposition on the story, and the ones that wanted more action and more challenging gameplay styles, along with other playable characters. And right now, I can see that you don't care about either of those things. And that is a big problem, considering that you're trying to target the Kingdom Hearts fans. Even so, this goes for every type of video game you talk about. If those people that are relatively excited for a game or a series of video games that you're talking about, try to have an opinion of the Kingdom Hearts fans' views without just thinking, oh, of your own personal views, because then it will just come off as you just being ignorant.
By the time Remind's more story-focused endeavors ended, I was left questioning why I needed to see that retread at all.
I'm sorry, do I have to explain to you why Back to the Future Part 2 has scenes from Back to the Future Part 1, but you know, stuff that's different and actually expands the plot? Let me explain to you guys what was going on in Kingdom Hearts 3 near the end of the game. Kylie dies by the hands of Xehanort, and Sora ends up realizing that there's still a way to save not only his long-lost best friend, but a friend that they ended up sharing a power-proof float together, so their hearts will always be connected. That's the type of stuff that you guys always gloss over when you guys talk about this series. Now let me go and explain to you guys why this DLC is important. It's because it goes back in time trying to undo some events that happened and unfolded. You know, stuff that time travelers normally do. The Power of Waking might as well just be the Dagger of Time from Prince of Persia.
Don't even try these fights if you're not at or near the upper limit of Sora's strength, as they're some of, if not the hardest boss battles in the entire franchise. And that's very clearly intentionally so. After grinding to max level, I've still only managed to beat 4 of them so far, and gotten my butt kicked by each of the others multiple times over.
So you didn't finish Limit Cut then, if you said you only beaten 4 out of the 13 Seekers of Darkness. Then why make a review in the first place? Reviewers and video game players alike, before making a full assumption on the entire package as a whole, should finish the game before writing the reviews. Yes, this is DLC, but at the same time this is important DLC. Stuff that actually matters in the grand scheme of things. He hasn't even encountered Zola yet.
Kingdom Hearts 3's Remind DLC left me confused. Its story comes up short of enlightening me about what's been left unexplored, mostly reusing content instead of deepening it. And while the volume of new boss battles its second half brings is definitely impressive, they also come saddled with unfulfilled story potential and an arbitrarily hard difficulty spike. It's not entirely devoid of meaningful revelations, but the questions left unanswered before Remind are still far more interesting than any of the new ones it raised.
First off, IGN, you should beat the game before you talk about it. Heck, you know what? You don't even have to beat the game. The guy I was talking about doesn't even need to beat the game. Why don't you get someone that actually knows the Kingdom Hearts series and can respect the Kingdom Hearts fans more than you? Get someone that knows the series to play the series. Also, another thing I like to bring up is the fact that, oh, you just say all this stuff has 0 story elements and left you with more questions than answers. Isn't that the point of stuff like Stranger Things, where they leave you on the edge of your seat wanting to know what's going to happen next? That's the type of things that that gets people excited for more sequels and more of the same series. That's what gives people attention. Like, that's what builds up the fan base and the story and the characters and the worlds as a whole. Oh my gosh, I am talking so much and I need some water for crying out loud. But IGN, you need to understand that this is not the way you review a game. And it's not just the fact that it's Kingdom Hearts, it's the fact that it's just a general video game review gone horribly long. My advice for you guys is to get someone that actually knows the series to talk about the series. The fact of the matter is that you haven't been, this is not the first time you did this. There is a bunch of videos on your channel that have more dislikes than likes. Take the Sonic Unleashed review, for example. A lot of people got upset about that one. Or heck, the Kingdom Hearts video? Again, more dislikes than likes. You have to understand why I get upset with IGN. It's because of all the bullcrap that they're throwing towards the fans and towards the fans of the series as a whole. This is the type of stuff that really gets me upset, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sorry that I am just yelling and just upset at this point, but this is the reason why I don't like IGN. IGN can improve and still be a good source of news and information, but this is why I watch people like Spawnwave that actually gives off good information about upcoming video game news and just different types of stuff as a whole. He does a lot better job than IGN. And that's why I'm going to leave it at this video. Ida, am I freaking done yet? Oh, I guess so. There's no other IGN videos that I guess you haven't really talked about. And your points does make a lot of sense, Trush. And I would love to like them, but it's just so hard for me to like someone that just keeps on not getting anything right. I thought it was funny when the guy said that he didn't even beat the series. He's such a scrub. Oh, so here he is. So he calls himself the Ninja of Twilight. Guess Magica Dispel wasn't kidding after he said that he beat the crap out of her. Well, now it's my turn. It's my chance to go and